My name's Yalda, and I'm the project lead at Autark, and I'm going to go through and do a demo of the planning suite. Right now, what you see are 3 different accounts in my MetaMask here that I'm plugging into the address book. There are 2 of them already there, and the third one I'm going to add is Autark. And you see right now their balances are pretty close to 0. I'm showing you this now because what this aspect of the planning suite is going to do is it's going to send money from one vote that will be sent to these 3 accounts based on how people prioritize the distributions. So we can create the missing entity. Okay, so now you see Autark was added there. And then we have our 3 address book entries essentially. And what we're going to do is we're going to withdraw from this performance bonus account to send to the different teams. But I'm going to show you how to create an account. Basically, you can just add a name. You can say maybe ecosystem fund and set a limit. And this just allows you to budget for different initiatives, or kind of set aside funding for different initiatives, and then further spend that funding in a way that utilizes range voting. So the primary use case may be something like there's a token holder vote from the finance app that sends money into these different accounts, and then there are range votes to distribute the funding in a prioritized manner. So right now this one already has a balance. You can create a new allocation, and it's a token transfer allocation. We're going to use the address book. Let's just say we're distributing 2 ETH. And then this is where we can select the address book entries, which map to the Ethereum addresses that we input. So the purpose of this allocation is to determine how should we distribute this 2 ETH across these organizations. So you can submit the allocation, and that's going to send this to the range voting application, where people that are part of the DAO, that are token holders, can participate in this vote. So here we see this, and we don't have the addresses displaying in the range voting app yet, because it's not always as straightforward as it seems, and that's why we want to actually enhance the cross-application user experience as part of AGP-19. So we can just submit that. And we set this duration for pretty low so we can get the execution right away, but you can see that's how I voted. Those are the different address book entries. And it should be ending soon for us to execute it. All right. So for that 2 ETH to actually be distributed to these 3 options, there are 2 more steps we need to take. First, we need to execute the result, essentially, and that assigns the mapping, essentially, of how much each account would get. And then we go back to the allocations, or how much each address would get, and then we do distribute allocation. Okay. And then let's open up MetaMask. And there we go. So you see, they roughly got around the same amount. So that was part 1 of the planning suite demo. And part 2 is going to be our projects application. So for our projects application, it allows you to integrate a GitHub with your Aragon DAOs. So here you can select your repository. And that brings in, right now, it's the most recent 100 issues. We'll add some pagination later. There's filtering for labels, so we can say what are the open issues for UI perfection. All right. Maybe we want to prioritize these issues as a DAO. I mean, you might have better use cases for when you would want to do this. You might have like bigger tickets or epics, but essentially you select those and then you go to the actions menu and you go to curate issues. And this takes each of the issues up here and you submit the curation, and now that's going to send it to the range voting app. So you'll do a similar thing where there will be sliders for each of the different values, and you can, as a DAO, submit your priorities for what you think is the most important. So we can go in here and see that. So slider, yeah, let's enhance this slider. Just, these are some older tickets. So you can just submit a vote like that. You don't have to use all your tokens if you don't want to. All right. So yeah, this will work similarly, and yeah, that's essentially the projects application working with the range voting application, and then the other was a combination of the address book and the allocations, transferring these allocations to the range voting application. Yeah, there's much more to come, but that's just a little bit of a demo of what we're up to. Thank you.